Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is our first attempt at Mousesteps Weekly.
You're going to say very weekly.
Not very weekly.
Hopefully not weekly. And
hopefully weekly. Hopefully weekly.
We are sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Winter
Garden, Florida. And our first little segment here is the debut of Disney Pixar Brave's Merida.
And she is in Epcot. Well, I don't even know if she's in Epcot anymore. For a couple of days, she was testing in Epcot.
Yeah, she was just training, and they were taking some photos of her before turning her loose onto us right now.
And she is headed to the Magic Kingdom maybe next week. I know mid-May in Fairy Tale Garden, where Rapunzel has been for the last couple of years.
And I think this will be the only time we'll be able to see her with zero weight, because I'm guessing she'll be very popular.
I think she'll be incredibly popular very soon. But Brave doesn't open until June 22nd, so we may have a little time before guests know who she is.
So what did you think? What did you think of your first encounter with her?
Well, she tried to teach me how to use a bow and arrow.
Well, that is her smolder move. This to me is her version of the smolder. So kids are already asking for this photo,
move.
Right? I don't know how.
I have never been good with a bow and arrow, so she didn't really teach me much. But she was a lot of fun. I thought she did a very, very good job, considering it was her first. I think it was her first day.
That was her first day. It was only the second day. Merida had been testing in the parks, but there was a different friend in the other day. So, and there she goes. Say hi to Angus. Angus,
the horse.
Yes, the horse. Angus.
We forgot Maximus, the name of Maximus the last time, but at least you got Angus this time.
Angus, they say. Switching gears now, we head over to SeaWorld for the grand opening of Turtle Trek.
We were invited to the media event for Turtle Trek, which is the world's first 3D 360-degree dome theater experience.
But before we are in this waiting area, I guess it's the pre-show, to see the live sea turtles.
There's sea turtles, and there's also a manatee habitat. But these sea turtles actually live here. They're never going to be back in the wild for various reasons. And they're beautiful, beautiful creatures, and I could have just stayed there all day.
Yeah, it was my favorite part, I think. I did love the movie, but I love watching the animals. And we had seen them previously at San Diego SeaWorld. Mm-hmm. And here is some clips of the 3D
film, which is this is about Naya, who is a sea turtle, and Naya's journey from being hatched until Naya actually lays her own eggs.
And it is a very perilous journey. I mean, there's many challenges that she has to face, and we encounter that. This guy is one of them. But this guy is going to have his own problems in a minute.
It is there are moments of intensity, but also, moments of joy. And what little you're seeing here, you can't see it properly on a YouTube video. You really have to go and see it in person.
Yeah, it was really cool. I definitely wanted to do it a few times, and I think we'll be back, that's for sure. And there is, that's
Naya.
Not us. Is that us?
Oh, I have no idea anymore.
But my favorite part's coming up, and I think that is the jellyfish, because this is, I think, the 3D aspect is the coolest during this part. You can sort of reach out and try to grab them.
I did try, but I didn't get one. But it's a wonderful film, and it's really a wonderful attraction. And even when you leave the exhibit, you get to see sea turtles from above.
Right, and I think we'll see some more of that coming up, too. And here is, of course, the happy ending. Naya returns to lay her own eggs, and all is well. They've gone to the sea turtle-friendly lighting, and it's all good. And now, live sea turtles.
And this one only has one fin. He's beautiful, though, probably the biggest of them.
He's the boss. This guy is the boss of the tank. Look at that face. I wouldn't cross him, even with the one fin.
It's pretty amazing, even, with just one fin, how he gets around so well. Yeah,
and they're all permanent. And I guess even the ones that are in good health, they are permanent ambassadors, they say.
I think right. And I think a lot of them have challenges, one challenge or another. And Oh, and now this is another
Segue.
turtle.
Speaking of turtles, we move over to Epcot.
This is Herman the turtle. And I did not name Herman. The cast members and manager had already named Herman previously to this. But I saw this big crowd around here near Imagination.
Well, we're about to see where here is, because it turns out Herman is a huge flower and garden fan. As I remember, he sticks up that big neck to look at the flower quilt there. So big fan of the festival.
He's a soft shell turtle, and you never want to stick your fingers at a soft shell turtle, and a lot of people were. So I went to get the manager.
Yeah, you don't want little kids to get their fingers bitten.
But it turns out that Herman's not really a Herman. Herman is a Henrietta or Hermione, and even though it looked like Herman was pissed off, Herman just wanted to lay some eggs, and that's why Herman here is trying to. In just a second, it will look like Herman is trying to swim
through the gravel, the irrigation system of Epcot.
And it turns out that eggs were laid, and the eggs were transported probably that day to Animal Kingdom for hatching.
So this is the excitement that can be had.
It was a lot of excitement. It's real, real life stuff. And I was so excited I wanted to make sure it got on here.
Well, your Herman has made it to the first show, so very good.
The manager was like, there goes the irrigation system.
Now switching gears once again. This is Splitsville in Tampa.
And we were not expecting to go to Splitsville. We went to the Van Halen concert. I won tickets and
took a walk
because we had 2 hours
we
to
had
burn.
some time to kill,
and we didn't realize
what do you
it
know?
was right there.
Splitsville. And Splitsville was delightful, actually.
It was. We had happy hour drinks and got a little buzzed and walked back to the concert.
So what do you think? Do you think it'll be a nice fit for Downtown Disney?
I do. I wasn't sure at first before we actually visited there, but we had a lot of fun.
And the Downtown Disney will be much bigger. I mean, they told us...
it's going to be the 2 floors, and it'll be 30 lanes. It's, not really a bowling alley. It's a lounge with bowling alley, so and restaurant. But there's our slider.
That was tremendous. It
was really good. The sliders were really good. We did happy hour. I think we got 4 drinks total and sliders and fries for like $20.
Less than $20. So it was it was a great deal.
Well, I hope they have happy hour at Downtown Disney because
we'll be there.
We'll be there occasionally, not too often. And the schooner, you had a schooner.
Yes, double schooner, and it had a pool. Yes, billiard table as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a very nice fit, and we look forward to checking that out at Downtown Disney.
Yeah, we didn't have time for bowling or anything, but we had time to sit back and maybe a half hour. It was very nice.
And now we take a trip back in time. We'll try to squeeze one of these vintage clips in to each of these little episodes that we do. But this is 1991. My parents are in town, and they dropped off some of their old videotapes. So I've been going
32
through 32
hours
worth. So I've been going through them all week. And this is the Mark IV monorail, which... unless you remember, it is very noisy, and I'm going to actually turn up the sound after we're done recording this so you can hear the clackety-clackety-clack of the
I didn't even remember doors. How loud it was.
It's the locks. It's the locks on the doors.
It sounds like you'd lose your teeth on it.
But
that's how loud it is. And the trams are different too.
Oh yeah, no doors on those trams. But that's we're looking at 21 years ago now. So I mean, just amazing stuff, and much more to come, actually. So now we're going to take a grand circle tour of Epcot Center Future World.
I miss the old attractions like World of Motion.
Well, we'll have a little glimpse of those coming up.
Yeah, from the outside. And this is the opposite area. Like if you were going to look to the right, you would see that there are no Leave a Legacy gravestones at that time.
Right. We have another version that will be coming soon that shows that. But here is the classic Universe of Energy. No Ellen.
Bill Nye, no Ellen.
And over there is the Wonders of Life with the original arch that eventually made its way to the Magic Kingdom toll booth plaza.
And there's Horizons.
My favorite, a classic. World of Motion, another classic.
And that was one of my favorites.
I missed that. That's going to be Test Track 2 now,
right?
Apparently. So,
And there's the Odyssey.
which I think was still open for business back in '91. I'm sure of it, actually.
I didn't go there too often back then.
And you can see World Showcase off in the distance.
And oh, the flamingos.
Yeah, we just saw the flamingos.
I really love them.
I have my eyes out for one of the buses. I don't see one of the buses, but it's just nice to see all this stuff. And here comes the Journey into Imagination Pavilion.
Back before it changed.
And it's the land. Listen to the land.
And the funny thing is that was Captain EO was back then too, and then
Yeah,
left
if you
some
actually
point.
watch the other video and you hear the narration, they talk about Captain
Captain
EO
EO.
and Michael Jackson. And there's the craft banner for the land. And it's the Living Seas, which probably just opened not that
Right.
long ago
and
at this time.
no Nemo and Friends.
No. Sans
Many
Nemo.
years until that happened.
But we were really lucky to have a ride on this particular monorail because the Mark IV monorails ceased service in '91. So this was probably one of the last remaining Mark IV monorails. And what made these monorails different is you could see, I think we're going to pan over, it was all seating. There was no standing. The doors were all manual closing doors, and you would always hear the doom, doom, doom. They always have to close the doors by hand. And when they opened the doors, you heard one big loud crack. And that was every door opening.
I believe those made it their way to Vegas because I remember riding on I believe that was the
MGM Grand. To Bally's. I also rode those Mark IV monorails, which are no longer in existence, sadly. So now we change to Universal.
Universal Studios Orlando started Universal Cinematic Spectacular. We saw it about 10 days ago.
Yeah, time sure flies with all this stuff going on around here, but it is their version of Illuminations or a nighttime spectacular, whatever you call it.
100 years of movies. They're celebrating 100 years, which is pretty amazing. And I think one of my favorite parts of it was just seeing so many moments in time that I can remember. Here you saw like E.T., which is like 30 years old almost now, and I remember seeing that in high school. It's hard to believe it's been that long. Despicable Me.
We love Despicable Me.
Love
We
that.
can't wait for that. And just in case you want to see more of these segments, take a look at the show notes, and I'll link each of the full segments if you want to see the full show of this show. We have it, the full monorail ride, the full Merida, all of them will be listed.
And I do recommend the Universal show, and I know they're starting their parade now, and Despicable Me, a ride is coming this summer.
Yeah. Lots to see. And did you mention the parade? Yeah, you mentioned
the parade,
Yeah,
and we haven't seen that yet.
So we'll have to get over there to check it out. So, yeah, Universal also has much to offer this year. But that about wraps it up for our first episode. Thank you for watching and listening.
We hope you enjoyed it. So thanks.